Hey, Margie here. Today we're talking about a topic that can make a huge difference in your life. And what is it? It's a morning routine. And I have found this been such an effective tool for me, my clients. It's helped thousands of people. And it's so easy to do. It's something you can easily put into your life. And it has so much power on the rest of your day, as well as your health and happiness. So today what I'm going to do is share 4 different practices, all of which I use every morning and that have helped me personally, but also something that's helped thousands of people really transform their day and improve both their health and their happiness. Because how you start off your morning really matters. How many of us wake up in the morning and we immediately go to the cell phone and we see what are our messages, what has to be done today, who do we have to get in touch with, what meetings do we have, what problems do we have to solve, and what happens? Our stress just keeps going up and up, our anxiety, and that's how we start our day. And that is not healthy. We certainly don't want more cortisol or stress hormone going. And it's not good for either our health or our happiness. But there is another way, because what we focus on grows. So if we're focusing on the problems, guess what? We're just going to have more of those. And oftentimes people listen to the news, more negativity creeping in the first thing they do when they get up. So I'm going to share 4 practices that are very effective and have helped so many people. So let's get started. The first one is Jin Shin Jitsu, and it's a finger holding technique. And Jin Shin Jitsu is a 3,000-year-old ancient Japanese healing art. And holding the fingers practice is very simple, but it has profound results because the energy pathways that regulate 14,000 functions within the body run through the fingers. So what happens when you hold the fingers, it helps balance and harmonize the energy in our whole body. So the interesting thing is there are emotions associated with each finger, as well as other health benefits. And in the show notes, I have a handout you can download that goes through these in detail. But what I wanted to tell you today were the emotions that go with each finger. And so you can use an acronym: STOP, WORRY, FAST. And so the thumb is the worry. This is what corresponds to the emotions. The thumb is worry. The F in fast is fear, which is the index finger. The A is anger, which is the middle finger. The S is sadness or grief, which is the ring finger. And the T is trying to, or being a pretense or covering up. And that's the little finger. So that's how you have, stop, worry, fast. So you can figure out what finger it is. So for example, if you're feeling a lot of worry, all you do is you take one hand. And so for example, the left thumb, you take the right hand and you just put it around the left thumb and you just hold it there. And you may feel a pulse. So you can really hold it as long as you want. But the technique I'm going to show you to do in the morning is to do every finger. And so you would take let's say the right hand, put it on the left thumb. It's a gentle hold. You're not holding it hard, very gentle, so that you can feel, if you can, you may feel a pulse. If not, you can just hold it and take 2 deep breaths. And then you move to the next finger, the index finger, until you feel a pulse or 2 deep breaths. And the third finger, the middle, and you keep going. And then when you finish one hand, then you'll take the right hand and you'll start with putting it over the left thumb until you feel a pulse or for 2 deep breaths. And sometimes there are people who, when they immediately put their hand on, they have a really big pulse. So you can also hold it there and the pulse will sort of calm down. It doesn't matter. You can't mess this up. It's just a way of activating and balancing out the system. And so, as I said, very effective. You can also, it doesn't have to only be in the morning. It's just a great thing. I do it while I'm still laying in bed. Before I'm even half awake, I'll just start doing each finger. And you can do deep breathing with it. You can think positive thoughts, whatever you want. but, and then I just feel so much more energized. It's incredible. So that's number one, Jin Shin Jitsu. And again, you can use that throughout the day. If you're feeling worried, just take one hand and hold a thumb. You can do it under a desk. When I'm at the dentist office, I'm just fearful. That's just not one of my favorite places. And so I'll hold my index finger. No one has to know what you're doing, but it's very effective. And as I said, just try it. Don't take my word for anything. And look at these different techniques as a smorgasbord. See what works for you and what resonates. So that's the first technique, the Jin Shin Jitsu. And I have more on Jin Shin Jitsu. Episode 67 is a whole podcast about that. But this technique is easy and a great thing to do in the morning. Okay, so we're ready now for the second technique. And the second technique is to ask empowering questions, because we want to start our day on a positive note. You know, so often we started off on negative notes, all the things that can go wrong, and we don't want that. So I love these 3 questions I learned from Reverend Michael Beckwith. So here they are. Number 1, what good is here that I cannot presently see? Number 2, what good is trying to emerge in my life right now? Number 3, what is the best thing that can happen to me today? Now feel that energy when you ask those questions in the morning. You're a detective looking for the good. So what are you going to get more of? It's a great way to really discover more good in your day when you start asking these questions. Now, I also love this quote by Reverend Michael Beckwith. My day is going to be filled with magnificent surprises. I'm going to meet beautiful people. Wonderful things are going to occur. So he's setting himself up for a positive, great day. That's the way to do it. So very powerful. So that's number 2. I also have included a happiness morning meditation. And so I'll share that in the show notes. And all you need to do is go to tinyurl.com/happiness morning meditation. It's a 7-minute morning meditation. And it also starts you off on looking for the positive in your day. And when you do download that, you'll also get a 7-day happiness habits journal that go through some other habits to help you start your day on a positive note. Okay, so now technique number 3, and this is one of my favorites. It's journaling. And there's lots of ways you can journal, but I'm going to talk about two that I sort of combine and use. The first one is called morning pages. And this is how I started journaling around 10 years ago. And I learned this when I went back to school to become a health coach. And one of the instructors was Julia Cameron. And Julia is the author of The Artist's Way. And this book teaches tools to improve clarity and creativity and clarity in life. And this is one of her favorite techniques. And when I first heard her speak about it, and let me explain what it is. So what it is that you just write down 3 pages of longhand stream of writing consciousness. So you just take your pen, paper, and you just start writing 3 pages of anything and everything that pops into your head. You don't censor it. It doesn't matter if it's negative. It just doesn't matter. And the pages are only for you to see. And according to Julia, nothing is too petty, too silly, too stupid, or too weird to be included. And she links writing morning pages to a vacuum cleaner. You know, it's like to vacuum your consciousness and cleaning out all the corners. It's okay to write negative thoughts because all the things that you write down on the pages might otherwise stand in your way of being your best self. So it's just a way you can download things that might be blocking you. It's really very powerful. And the first time I heard Julia talk about this, she said it took her almost an hour and she would do this. And I thought, there is absolutely no way I will take an hour in my morning to do this. And then because I was busy. And then I started asking people about morning pages and have you ever done them? And there were several people that said completely transformed my life. And I thought, really? I said, okay, I'm going to try it. I guess I'm a fast writer. For me personally, it takes 15. And so I started doing it and it was amazing. I started feeling lighter. And I would also ask questions during when I would write the pages, if I just had a question. And then life would become more synchronistic because I just seemed to be more tuned in. It was fabulous. And again, I've been doing this for 10 years. So then I added a second practice, but I love morning pages, so incredibly empowering. And then I added a second practice that I learned from Deborah Poneman called Writing for Guidance. And that was, I'd actually ask the universe a question that I wanted answered. And I would just sort of sit there for a few minutes, take some breaths. Sometimes I would do it after a meditation. And then I would ask the question, write the question down, and then just keep writing again. And it's amazing what answers I would get. So now I sort of combine the two, but they're both amazing practices. And what I found that I do is, again, I throw out the pages. It's not something that you look at, but when you do write for guidance, it's a good idea to go through that part afterwards when you're asking questions and just see if you got any nuggets or got any answers. And so what I would like to do, sometimes I got amazing, just some great advice that was so helpful, that my daughter was in Thailand and she bought me this beautiful journal. For those who are watching by video, you can see, but just a beautiful journal. And so what I started doing then, if I got something that I wanted to keep, because I just threw out the morning pages, if there's something I wanted to keep, I would write it down. To me, this is like a sacred journal. So I just want to read, for example, something I wrote. And this I wrote, I've been keeping this since 2014. This I wrote in November 7th, 2015. Life, this is the message I received. Life is your miracle to create and dream up. Make it as colorful and amazing as you possibly can. There are no limits. The only limits are within you. So let go, baby, and soar. Anyway, that was really good advice for me because sometimes I was holding myself back. And I found that with the pages, when I ask questions and just sit back and just write, I get great answers that are so helpful for my life. So the interesting thing, when I've used this with patients and clients, the people that are most resistant, that say to me, Margie, I don't like journaling. It brings things up and it intensifies it, and I don't want to do it. And I'm fine. Again, each person picks what they choose. This obviously isn't right for everybody, but then they try it. And then they say to me, thank you so much. This has really changed my life. I feel so much freer because they were able to put things down on the paper or get guidance. Just a very, very powerful tool. So try it out, see what you think. And again, it's something that has helped so many people that I've worked with, as well as myself. When I'm, occasionally you're very busy, occasionally, or something you have things early to do in the morning, and I don't have time to do my pages first thing in the morning. And I don't feel as light. I feel like I'm carrying around more weight. So it's something that's just become part of my life, as well as so many others. So try it out, see what you think. I would love to hear your feedback. And the last tool I want to teach is called a shower clearing. It's the shower clearing exercise. And this is something I learned from Courtney Levins. And I love this because many of us take showers in the morning, so you don't even have to add any more time. It's just something you can do in the shower. But if not, you can also pretend you're in the shower or pretend you're in a beautiful waterfall, because it's a way to clear out the negativity. So you can start out feeling more positive and just letting things go. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to take you through it right now. So for those people who can, you can close your eyes. If not, just listen. And then, when you're home or tomorrow morning, you can try doing the technique. But if you're sitting somewhere now, you might as well experience it. Because again, you don't have to do it in the morning, but it's a great thing to do if you're taking a morning shower. So just stand with your feet firmly on the ground. And if right now you're not in the shower, so you can close your eyes. When you're in the shower, you may not want to close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and feel the water running down on top of your head, all over your body. And we ask the universe to please allow the water to wash over us and gently clear and cleanse any negative debris or anything you want to get rid of. And just imagine the water washing away any thoughts, feelings, emotions, or memories that keep popping into your mind that do not serve your highest good. And just visualize your debris and anything that's not serving you, just rinsing off and going right down the drain. And you can even visualize this transforming and transmuting into more positive energy and going down the drain back into the earth. You can do this as many times as you want, just cleansing out. And you can stop here, or you can even visualize the water becoming a protective shield. So think of the water now, a bubble of water that's encasing you. And fill this with whatever color light you want. I love white light. White light can energize, can heal, it can protect. So think of filling this with this bubble of light all around you with white light. And you can even go through your day, feeling yourself filled with this white light. You can fill it with pink light, unconditional love, green light, healing or abundance, whatever you like. Okay, so those, you can open your eyes. Those are 4 techniques. I'll just go over them again. Number 1 was the Jin Shin Jitsu, the finger holding technique. Number 2 was asking the empowering questions and affirmation. Number 3 was journaling. And number 4 is the shower clearing technique. Now, of course, there's others, and there's others I use too. I do a meditation. I love Qigong, but see what works for you, what works with your time frame. These are just, they don't take that long, and see what works. And I wanted to share them because they are so empowering. And as I said, as you start your day makes a difference. And I've gotten so much positive feedback on these different techniques. So please let me know what works. I'd love to hear from you. Or if you have other techniques that are great, please share them. You can share them in any of the ways you listen to the podcast, or you could also always send me an email at margie@margiebissinger.com. And additionally, make sure so you can get that morning meditation that's in the show notes, as well as the 7-day happiness habits journal. And I have the download on using Jin Shin Jitsu. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.